Good morning. Hello. Thank you for joining us here at Earth and Sky. Those of you here in person and those of you online, we welcome you. Hope you enjoy our Sunday morning life talks. Today I am talking about something I get asked about this time of year quite a bit since we're entering into October, and a lot of people start thinking about all of the festivities that go on towards the end of October, and people get interested in how they can increase their intuition. So I was going to talk about the 10 steps to increasing your own intuition. This time of year, people turn towards thinking about psychics and mediums and you know what the difference is between that and being empathic and just intuitive yourself. And so as the veil thins, sometimes it gets a little bit easier to reach out to the other side, and there are some things that are just around us all of the time. So we'll get into a little bit about that. We might turn this into a series of a couple different life talks coming up as well. So we'll do some of the highlights with the 10 ways to increase your own intuition. If you haven't already, please like our Facebook page, hit the like button on this video, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We really appreciate each and every one of you and all of the feedback that you give us as well. So what can you do to increase your own intuition? To enhance your own natural abilities. Everyone has a certain amount of natural abilities with intuition, just like we all have a certain amount of healing abilities that are latent within each of us. Some of us are a little bit more in tune with the abilities that we have, and for some people it just comes very naturally and floods in very easily, and for others it may seem like there's a wall and you're just not sure if you have any of it in you, but you do. You just maybe don't realize how to tap into that exactly, and how to maybe refine that gift, whether you're on the end of the spectrum where you're just not sure you're hearing anything, or you're somebody that feels like you're flooded with a lot more than you want to necessarily know. We'll talk a little bit about how to refine those gifts and to refine the skills that you build as you practice with that. So when I started to become, when I knew that I was intuitive, I don't remember it, but my mother tells me when I was 2, I started having psychic dreams, and I was 2 when I started screaming out her friend Mary's name in the middle of the night, and she got a call in the morning that her friend Mary she had hemorrhaged that night and was in the hospital. 6 months later, I was screaming out her sister Dixie's name, so she called her right away, and while I was sleeping, and she found out that she was hemorrhaging, and she was able to take her to the hospital, thankfully. So it just kind of has continued through my life like that. There was a period of my life where I shut it off because I was just tired of hearing everybody's thoughts and everything that was going on around me, and I kind of turned my back on a lot of it for several years. And then I decided to reopen it back up and kind of forgive the universe for the things that I was mad about and learn the lessons that I needed to learn from it instead, and then opening it back up. And I've learned a lot through all of that. And so it's really up to you. The options are truly all within your hands about what you want to do with your gifts. So there's some different types of categories for some of this too before we get into those 10 steps of how to increase your intuition. So some people will talk about being empathic. Being an empath is where you feel things from other people. Maybe you're around somebody and you can feel the sadness on somebody, or you can feel the joy on someone. A lot of times people that are very empathic don't like being in large crowds because it becomes very overwhelming. Sometimes they don't like going to the grocery store because they feel like they're feeling the emotions specifically. Empath, emotion, you can see the connection through the word there. And so it's like they're picking up all these things. So there's a lot of things that we might do in a series about how to protect yourself if you're an empath, while still getting the information that maybe you want to get, but not letting it impact you, not letting it throw you off balance and affecting your life in any negative way. So you can still stay firmly grounded in yourself while fielding what maybe is going on with other people around you. And then there's the category of being psychic, and this is where you start using your intuition. Psychics have a wide variety of things. Sometimes they see the past, sometimes they see the future, sometimes they are able to connect with angels and other beings and just reach out and get certain answers about the present as well. Some psychics will use different tools like tarot or runes or different things like that. Some, like myself, I don't use any of those tools. I just meditate and write down what comes to me and then deliver the message that way. And then there's the category of mediums. Mediums are the ones that tend to specialize in focusing on hearing from the dead. They're able to translate the messages of lost loved ones. Maybe it's something that is an unfinished business that needs to be spoken, or maybe you just love someone so much that has passed and you want to hear from them, or you want to relay a message to them, and they can help kind of feel that conversation back and forth. All of these different things, all of the categories have the 4 clairs. So there's clairaudient, which is where you're able to hear. So whether you're a medium or you're psychic, or it's not as much with empaths. Empaths usually are more feeling the emotions of people, but psychics and mediums, some will be clairaudient, where they're hearing what's going on. They might hear the angels talking to them, or hear from other people, or maybe they feel like they just hear the universe giving them advice about what they need to say. And then there are those that are clairvoyant. Clairvoyant is where you see things. So you might see images, or you might see angels or loved ones or situations. Sometimes they'll see a movie playing out about something from the past or the future or the present. Sometimes they help with just giving greater depth. All of these can help sometimes with just giving greater depth and greater understanding of a situation. Then there's clairsentient. Clairsentient kind of falls a little bit more into the category with empath, where you feel things in your body too. So if I have a reading for somebody and I start to suddenly feel like my stomach is just burning, I might be realizing that the person that's sitting with me has an ulcer, and so I can kind of tune into how my body feels. Or I've had people where I was translating for somebody that had crossed over, and I just feel this sharp pain in the back of my head, and I realized they were in a car accident with a head trauma. That's how they died. So clairsentient is where you translate what's going on from the other side through your body, and you just feel it in different ways. The claircognizant is the other thing. Claircognizant is where you just know things. You just realize from the universe. It might be an idea, it might be something logical or intellectual, or you might just have a greater understanding of a situation or what's going on with somebody because you're claircognizant. You just feel like you have an inner knowing about what's going on. So those are some of the different clairs and the different ways that you can apply the 10 steps to becoming more intuitive. It really seems to be that a lot of people will gravitate towards certain types of clairs a little bit more naturally. Not to say that they can't have all of them if they work at it, but it seems like there might be a proclivity towards one of them. So just noticing what maybe flows to you easier. When you're in your everyday life, what do you notice more? When you're in a room with people, do all of the sounds that are going on in the room, is that what really stands out to you? Or do you notice how you're feeling? Are you very aware of your body all the time and what's going on within it when you're around people? Or maybe you feel like you see every detail when you're looking through a room, and now all the colors and all the textures and everything pop out to you. Then maybe you'd be more clairvoyant. Or maybe you're able to just clear your mind very well and you get inspiration and ideas that flash within you. So you might lean towards being a little bit more claircognizant. So whatever you lean towards most might be the easiest thing to really work on refining and building those skills as you go through these 10 steps. So the first step is to meditate. It's very, very important if you're wanting to increase your intuition, if you're wanting to look within, whether you're wanting to be professional with helping people or you're just wanting to build your own intuition for yourself because you want to see situations clearly, you want to feel confident knowing that when you're talking to people that you can see the truth and you can see what's really going on below the surface. Then meditation, for everything we're talking about, meditation is the biggest key because through meditation we learn to calm down and quiet our mind. A lot of people have thoughts running through their mind all the time. They're worried about this and that and thinking. So it's important to calm down all that chatter. And when you do that, so much peace comes in. It's amazing how much peace and that balance of not worrying about everything that is chattering. When that calms and quiets, it really is the first key, because if your mind is going, then if you're trying to hear things from the universe or from deeper within, your thoughts are getting in the way. It's hard to break through. Just like if you're having a conversation with somebody, maybe two people are talking and you want to talk, but they're both talking. It's hard to have three people talking at once and hear what's going on. So quiet your own mind, then you can hear the universe talk to you. And whether you choose to hear from the universe or angels or guides or whatever it is you're choosing, if you're choosing to hear from guides, I would make sure you're asking for third heaven guides so that they're above ego and they're just that pure, kind of that angelic energy type of a guide. We went through that in a previous life talk, so if you're interested in learning more about that. But so number 1 is meditation. Number 2 is quieting the mind, silencing the mind. So the easiest way to do that is through meditation, but then it's even deeper than that. As you learn to meditate, then you've learned to finally have this peace and this quiet. And sometimes it takes a while to reach that state. When you first start to find silence within your mind, it might be 30 seconds, and then it might be 2 minutes, and then it might be you can have silence for an hour. Sometimes it takes a few years to get to the point where you can have complete silence in your mind for an hour, but it is possible the more you work towards it, and it is so liberating to be in that space. It's really a wonderful thing. It's worth the effort of meditating and clearing and finding that silence. And then the third thing is learning to just enjoy that silence so that you can listen within. Sometimes when people start to reach that state of silence, they get a little nervous. They feel like, what can I fill to put some sound in this silence? What can I put in? How can I maybe add music? Or maybe I'll hear a car driving by outside. Or maybe, was that a bird? Or is somebody possibly at my door? And they have all of these thoughts that start to rush in as soon as silence is reached. So learning to enjoy that silence and just waiting and not forcing the intuition, not saying, okay, I had silence, universe, tell me stuff. Learning to enjoy. Sit with that silence for a minute and enjoy it. And then number 4 would be to listen to nature, because when you start to listen to the sounds of nature around you, and you start to just listen to what's in your environment, then you're learning to calm down all of this logical stuff that we have in life. Logic is very important, but if you're working on increasing your intuition, it's important to also kind of calm down that logical side. So listening to nature can really help pull you out of it. So if you maybe want to go out to a forest or go to a park when it's not busy and just see what you can hear. So as you calm your mind down, really open up your ears, and that's going to open you to being more clairaudient because you're really focusing on having hypersensitivity within your ears. So you go and you feel like you have quiet around you, and then all of a sudden you notice that you hear the birds chirping, and maybe you didn't notice that before. And then you start to notice that as the wind picks up, you hear the leaves rustling in the trees. And it's quite possible that's something you didn't notice before because you paid attention to the sound of the cars and the chatter and things like that. So as you really start to kind of enjoy that silence, and then you listen to nature and you notice all of these sounds that you didn't realize. And then when you go into your own house and you have silence and you have everything off, and you start to notice that as a fan turns on, that's quite a bit of noise. And if a light switch clicks on, that's a lot louder than maybe you realize because we have all this white noise in our life all the time. So if you become very hypersensitive to it and you notice all of those little things, then you're opening up your ears to hear intuitively all of the things that are coming in around us. Truly, all of the answers in the universe are all around us. I'll get to that in a second. So noticing what you feel in your body too. This is the same thing as making your ears hypersensitive. You're going to notice what you feel in your body. So when you're sitting in meditation just by yourself and you've started to quiet your mind down, then notice how your body feels. Do a body scan where you just kind of imagine this like an x-ray that starts to scan down through your body, and you notice how even your hair feels, and then you notice how your face feels, your head, your throat, scanning down every part, not expecting anything, not expecting or predicting where you might have pain or stiffness or anything. Just notice what you feel within yourself, and you're starting to raise your sensitivity to noticing what you're feeling. And then the next time you're around somebody and you're wondering what you're feeling with that person, then you can kind of go within and scan within yourself. And there's another way to increase that too if you're wanting to understand truth or honesty versus lies when you're around people. Sometimes that's something we're trying to field in the everyday world, knowing who we can trust and what people's motives are. So while you're in meditation at home by yourself, ask yourself, after you've done that body scan and you notice how you're feeling, ask yourself inside, what does it feel like when I feel like somebody is being truthful with me? Or what does it feel like when I say the truth about something? And notice how that feels in your body. Do that body scan again. And then ask yourself, what does it feel like when I lie? Or what does it feel like when somebody lies to me and I know it's not true? And do that body scan again and notice what you feel in your body. Where do those little changes, those minute changes, happen within your body? And whether it's excitement or whatever it is you're wanting to ask questions about, do it by yourself in meditation. First do that scan, and then you're going to notice when you go out and you have conversations with people. Maybe you're working on a contract for something and you're trying to make sure the person you're going into business with has the right intentions. And so while you're talking with them, you can kind of in the back of your mind go within your mind and then do that body scan and notice what you feel within yourself, and that's going to tell you, clairsentient is going to turn on and it's going to tell you what you can feel. Often it might be something you feel within the gut. Some people might feel it within the head. Maybe the head feels cloudy or the head feels clear. Maybe the gut feels really tight, or it might feel really calm and relaxed. And each person is different. Do that body scan. Notice what you pick up for yourself and you'll increase that clairsentience. And truly all knowledge is everywhere in the universe. We're all connected with each other. We're all energy. When you look into quantum physics and quantum mechanics, it really explains. Science finally has met up with metaphysics, where we know we can see the patterns of energy. We have cameras now, the Kirlian cameras, that show how our energy connects with each other. It goes about 3 feet off the body, and when we meet someone, our energies connect with each other. And even plants and animals, we all have these certain energies, and so we impact each other with that. And through that energy field, and even through the ether that's between our energy fields, all knowledge is present. All of the answers are present. All the answers are present within, and it's present within that energy that surrounds us, and that's in that ether that's between everyone in energy as well, which is really where the answers to everything are all around us. When I would do readings in years past, I would imagine that I would just kind of reach out and I could see where an answer was. So it was almost as though I was kind of reaching out, would ask the question and I would see something pop and then highlight, and I would bring it into myself to be able to interpret it and give that answer to someone. So those answers are really all around us. It's a matter of just opening, knowing that you can access it, reaching out and bringing it in and interpreting that answer. So quieting the mind is really, really a big key. It's hard for a lot of people in our modern society, but you can do it. Number 6 is as well as inviting the wisdom in. So when you invite in that wisdom, when you're reaching out, you're pulling in those answers, and you're quieted your mind. You're learning where to feel it within your body, or where to hear it within your mind, or maybe you're working on the clairvoyant aspect, so you're really focusing on noticing everything you see when you're in a room, noticing all of the different colors, like in the backdrop behind me, all of the different shades of green, the different shades of brown, how the lighting connects, noticing every detail, where it seems like there's texture that pops out and where things kind of fade back. That's going to increase that clairvoyance within yourself. And so realizing that all the answers are around us, and then inviting that wisdom in, because you have to invite it in if you want to hear it. You can't just expect to, if you're studying for something, you can't just expect that you automatically will know the answers. You have to invite that lesson to come in. You have to invite yourself into a space where you're hearing the teacher talk, and then you can hear the wisdom that comes in. And the wisdom can come in from a lot of different sources. Maybe angels is what you want to connect to. So all you need to do is ask your angels to come in, and they are all around you. Your angels want to help you in this life, but you have to ask them in order for them to intervene. We have free will in this life. So when you ask them, then they can come in and intervene. And I can't read my writing. So Oh, and then you can invite wisdom in through loved ones. If you are trying to connect with loved ones from the other side, just invite them in and know that they are around you. They might have transitioned already too far on the other side, but they still have the ability to come back and to be with you and to send their love to you. So invite them in, invite that wisdom in. And then simply answer. Sometimes you're not trying to get it through angels or loved ones. You just want the answers. You don't want to deal with anybody else. Well, that energy, that essence is all around us. So beginning to just see where you can invite the answers in and asking and knowing that it's possible, knowing that it's true, clearing that doubt out of the way. Confidence is also a very important part of this. Number 7 is confidence. And so clearing out that doubt, knowing that this is possible. You might not understand quantum physics. You might not be able to logically explain how it works. That's the one thing that will trip me up sometimes when I'm doing a reading, is if I try to logic it out and I think, how is it? I've never met these people, and I sit here and I meditate and I write down everything about their lives and all the advice, and I happen to just know what topics their questions are without them answering it. And I'll think, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how that works or how I can do this. And then I really trip myself up and I get like anxious, and it always works out. The readings are always right on. But if I let that logical mind and I try and figure it out, it just trips me up. So letting go of that is a big key. Letting go of your doubt, letting go of the need to explain it all, and just trusting, building your confidence. So your confidence comes in through the solar plexus. Your intuition comes in through the third eye. So all of these things connect through the chakras. You can look back at our previous life talk on the chakras if you want more information on that. But balancing the chakras is a big part of number 7 too, because if you want to increase your confidence, you're going to need to balance your chakras. When some people who are very intuitive and they try to stay all in these upper chakras because suddenly it feels really good to just stay on the other side and not worry about the earthly stuff, because it's much more pleasant to be in connection with angels all the time and to not worry about all the stuff of the rational, logical stuff of earth. And then they start to get a little bit, it's harder for them to pay their bills. They can't be on time to things. They get they start struggling with the things of the earth because they're just preferring to be up here. Sometimes when these upper chakras, like the crown chakra or the third eye, open really big and the others are too small, then they get a lot of anxiety too, and they can't go out into grocery stores, and they struggle with being in large crowds because they feel everything, they hear everything. I had reached a point for a few years when we were in Phoenix where we would go to a restaurant and I was hearing the conversation going on in everybody's heads, and that can be very frustrating when you're trying to talk to the person in front of you and you know what the struggles are of the table next to you. And so that's out of balance. You want to have balance within all your chakras. So if you feel like you're in that space, then start focusing on opening your lower chakras and really opening your grounding centers. I'm not going to go into all the chakras right now because you can watch that other life talk. If you feel like you're struggling and you're more connected to all the earthly things, you've got a great handle on everything earthly, and you can manage all of the things that go with living a life here, but you're just not hearing the intuition. You don't feel like you're connected to the other side and you want to open up some of that, then your earth chakras are probably pretty well open, and it's time to clear and open these upper chakras. So watch that life talk on the chakras. The confidence center comes from the solar plexus, which is just above the belly button. That's a gold color. So if you're struggling with just some self-doubt, needing to get confidence, meditate on seeing a beautiful gold color coming in and opening the solar plexus chakra. If you're really working on increasing your intuition, meditate on that third eye chakra, blue, green, purple, like an alexandrite stone. That's the color of the third eye chakra. And then making sure, number 8, is making sure you are grounded as well as open to the divine. That's kind of what I was just talking about, where you want to make sure you're balanced, you're connected to this earth. We're in this body, and you're in this body, in your body, your body, in this life for a reason. We're all here for a specific reason, embracing the body that you're in, embracing the life that you're in, and finding joy in every moment here. There's a lot of joy around us, and then also reaching up and knowing that you're connected to the divine just as much as you're connected to the earth. You have angels all around you, as well as all the people that share this blue marble planet with you. So realizing that you're the bridge between these two worlds, which means you have access to all of the knowledge and all of the records that are in both of these worlds. And just allowing yourself to clear the doubt away, know that you have access to all of it, and opening up so you can hear it. Number 9 is to visualize in a way that works for you. It's really important to find what kind of visualization works for you, because that'll help get you out of your head. So you've meditated, you've found silence within your head, you've cleared some space, you've invited wisdom in, you're building your confidence, you're listening, and then you need to start finding a visualization that works for you. And then that can help for a lot of the things we just talked about. It'll help enhance and balance that. So maybe you want to be, maybe you'll do some kind of a ritual beforehand that helps you just kind of clear your mind and center. Maybe it's that you have certain items that you want to have around you, or maybe you want to ring a bell around your house to just kind of get the energy moving and clearing, or a wind chime that you have in your house. That's great feng shui for clearing out any energy. Do something to help you clear your space so you clear out. Sometimes doing a dance really helps. Some kind of an energetic dance can help clear the energy and reset your mind so you let go of everything else and you're starting to visualize. You might do a visualization where you go into meditation and you feel like you find a key, and really visualize what the key looks like. Maybe an old-fashioned kind of a beautiful skeleton key that's scalloped, and see the color of it and notice how it feels in your hand in the visualization. And then see that you are holding the key, and then begin to see a door in front of you. Visualize what the door looks like. Put the key in, open the door, and know that you're opening the door to wisdom. You're opening the door to seeing on the other side. So it's giving your brain a cue that, okay, we're leaving some of this realm and we're accessing our full potential and our full knowledge. You might do something like visualizing that the answers are floating around you, and just imagining that you know that all the answers of the universe are around you, so you start to see them within your head. And then when you visualize and you see something that kind of shines or pops, then you can reach out and you know that's the answer you need to bring in. And then the more you're meditating, the more you're able to start to understand and interpret that answer that you saw. Maybe you're going to visualize locking your doubt away in a small room because sometimes that doubt can creep up. And so maybe you have to imagine that little part of you that has doubt is you're going to put that into a room and then open and feel your confidence so that you can hear all the answers that are floating around you, coming into you, everything that you can access. And then number 10 is just feeling gratitude. So with each time you start to feel something within your body, or you begin to hear something, or you just have a knowing within yourself, you have a piece of knowing that you found some truth, or maybe you're seeing something, whatever it is, whatever signs you have, feeling gratitude each time you notice one of those. Feel gratitude, because that's going to start to really raise that within yourself, acknowledging it, acknowledging that you have received this answer, or you felt something within your body, and you're increasing that. So feeling gratitude to the universe, feeling gratitude for the gift that you have, and feeling gratitude that you're building your skills for intuition. So these are the 10 basic steps of beginning to increase your intuition. So the more you work with this, the more you do it, the more is going to just flow to you very nicely and easily from the universe. You have full access to everything within the universe. It's up to you to decide to grab that and bring it in and feel the love that comes from having all of the knowledge in the universe. So I hope that helps you with gaining some insight into your own life, increasing your intuition so you can live your best life, so you can live your full potential, so you can find joy in the everyday within your life. Having that awareness of the present moment is the biggest key, but you can use it towards accessing the past and the future so that you can increase your present moment to live your best life. If you enjoyed this Life Talk, please hit the like button on this video, and please hit the share button to send it out to your friends and family. Thank you all so much for subscribing to us on YouTube, and I will see you next week.